Hello there guys, welcome back to the e-bike repairs YouTube channel. My name's Darsh and I take apart and I fix super fun and exciting stuff. Today I've got this, it's an NP60 lithium battery. I believe it goes in a camera. Yep, 14.4 volts, 60 watts, lots of little lines. If you press this, nothing happens. Hawk Woods it says. I assume the customers put some tape here to stop the terminals being exposed in the post. Sorry, with the courier company, because you can't post batteries here in the UK. Let's take this off, see what we've got. Yes, there are in fact terminals. Terminals say things. We've got A, hopefully negative, B, C and plus. Okay, let's look one of those. Doodads there. Dispose of battery properly. Very exciting. Now there are no obvious screws or anything to get into it, so it'll be a prying job. I'm just going to see, I was watching a video on how a different chap opened one of these. Let's have a look. Okay, I've got this video up.
There's a lot going on there, and it takes out. You can pop the tabs along the side and pop this.
And this lovely chap, DFW Soundman, shows you exactly how to open it. There are screws hidden underneath the labels on these, so I'm going to have to peel off the label, both labels, which is upsetting. I'm going to try and do it gently, and we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. I'm assuming the labels will be stuck on with some form of adhesive. If that's the case, I'll try and get under it a bit with a bit of brake clean or something solvent wise. So let's try just beginning a bit of a peel here and getting a brake clean going under there, because I'd like to not damage these labels if at all possible. Yeah, look, there we go. There is adhesive, and it is dissolvable with a bit of brake clean. I'll just put that on it gently. I don't see any screws. No screws yet. Right, well there isn't one underneath there. Let's try the other one, shall we? Got my edge of my Stanley under there. Bit of brake clean, just to loosen the adhesive up. Please have some screws, sir. Right, this one has got no bloody screws under it. So that's annoying, isn't it? I guess it's just a prying job then. Now, there's not really any movement anywhere in the case, so I guess I'll just try with the standing and running it along this edge. Oh yeah, look, here you go. You can see in there now. Let's try the other edge. Oh, scratching it. What have we got luck-wise now? God, yeah, it's trying. Just trying to do it without ruining the case too much. I could ruin it anyway. promising, but it's slow going. One corner is starting to come out there. Two corners. That's two corners. Okay. Minimal damage. There's a bit here where I've just missed with the Stanley, but it is what it is. There's absolutely no cell circuitry. Oh, that's crazy. It's just double-sided taped on. Okay, there we go. Molly FSPE 70037.142209 ICR 18650G, made in Canada. Interesting. So this one here, the C tab, is not even used. This one here, the B tab is used, the plus tab is used, the I and the A are used, but there's just a resistor across there. Now my only problem with this is there's just no no cell protection as far as I can see, which is not something I'm comfortable with. Unless it's on this board here. Got one of those. Just a couple of rubber blocks holding everything in and a bit of silicone, which is crazy. See, there are lots of resistors, so perhaps it does have a bit of balancing on here, but they're not the same resistor all round. There's a bit of a close up of that board for you there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy to do it, to be honest. Is that just held in with a bit of silicone? I want to pop this out and have a little look, perhaps, at what's going on under here. Wow, that is attached. I don't know if I'm happy. No, there must be cell level monitoring, look, because we've got one from this group, one from this group, one from this group, one from this group, one from this group. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So I'm going to need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells. So this must be 4S, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4S, 2P. And if it was originally, there's a bit more of that case come off there. If it was originally, do we think that's 60 watts or 60 watt hours? Let's do 14.4 divided by, no, sorry. What would they have to be? Maths, 60 divided by 14.4, 4.16. So they could be, 2 amp hour cells each. I don't know if that means it can use 60 watts of power or if it's a 60 watt hour battery, because there's no info on these cells, and I don't need to look up a data sheet really. They're old. I wonder. I guess I could just replace them with, I don't know, 60 watts. What if we use LG MJ1 cells? Oh, 35Es. 4S, 2P, make it 7 amp hour at 100 watt hours, good for 16 amps. So if we do 14.4 times by 16, 14.4 times by 16, it should be good for 230 watts of output. So I guess that's, even if that is the watts that it outputs, not the watt hours, that'll still be plenty. I think that's what we should do. Yeah, let me give the customer a ring quick and see what he fancies doing. Right, I haven't got an answer from the customer. He didn't answer his phone, but that's fine. I'm just going to... so sticky. So very sticky. Measure these cells quickly and see what's what. What's the pos and what's the neg? There and there. If you can see the meter. 6 volts across all the cells, so that's showing dead, not dead, not dead, not dead, not dead. So it's this group here at the end that's completely died. I'm just going to try and trickle a tiny bit of life into that cell group because I want to see if... Oh, my soldering iron's on, that's hot. I want to see if... Let's just pop that right down. Got my adjustable power supply here. I can just make it register anything on the... on that little screen on the front. So probably actually going to need it all that way up so I can check. I'd just like to see if it comes to life to sort of test the circuit board out a little bit, maybe. See if I can get my probes on there at all, and on there. So they're gonna, yeah. Let's see if I can just coax this one into any kind of life. Give it 1 volt. It's got to do anything apart from just get hot. There you go. It's giving it 2 volts at 1 amp at the moment, and it's dropped down to 0.5 amps. 0.4 amps. They're not hot yet. I'd just like to see something flash up on that indicator to know if the board is dead or not, ideally. Of course, if the whole pack's only reading sort of 7 volts, it might be a bit low. So I want to bring this one up individually, or separately, as it's the lowest one. What are we getting here? Yeah, that 1.9 volts that's showing now. So 8 volts across the pack. Should be alright for a minute if I just apply a bit of power. Let's set that around, I don't know, 7 volts, 7.5. If I apply a bit of power to the main positive over here, no sparks. No sparks, that's good. It's a start, isn't it? There we go, right. Let's just give these cells a tiny bit of juice. 0.2 amps, 9 volts, nothing crazy. I'll keep an eye on things here. Yeah, 9 volts that's showing now. Nothing's hot or anything yet anyway. Anything on that indicator? Nothing on the indicator. I stuck the labels back on when you weren't looking, and now I'm regretting that. please come off to make sure I'm actually pressing things. Yeah, definitely activating the button there. I don't know if you have to hold it down or something maybe. Nothing yet. Pop the power up. Right, we're popping 12 volts into that now. I'm still not getting anything here. I don't know what the procedure is to turn it on. One would assume it looks pretty basic. One would assume it's just sort of on. Yeah, that cell's at 2.3. 3.1. 3.2. 3.2. 3.2. Yeah, it's this one over here is probably too low for it to let it do anything. Still showing 2.3 volts here. Probably just going to start getting hot now. Well, it's still staying cold, but just want to see a light. Let's give it a bit more power. Why not? So what's going to happen? It's going to blow up. Be a good video. Right, 3.5 volts showing on that cell group. 3.6. 3.6. 3.6. So this should trick the board in here into thinking that all is okay because it's seeing voltage on its cells. But look, I'm getting anything off this. Nothing off this. Now, maybe it doesn't do anything unless it's plugged in, but I am wondering what this thing is and what it's measuring on the other side of that. To be on the output side of whatever this doodad is. Yeah, we're getting voltage on the out. It's taking an amp now. Nothing's hot. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, if it's this dead, does it need power applying at the charge terminals instead? Is that what it needs? So let's whip these off here. Let's try applying power at these. So we've got a C for charge, which is not connected. We've got that one for the positive, and our negative is just there. Well, let's give it a go. Can't hurt, can it? Bang. Not bang. Yeah, it charges via that port there. It did for a second. Yeah, power's going in. Oh look, there's a little something. A light that works. Look at that. Don't know how well you can see that. Let's pick the whole thing up and show you. It's flashing now. And it's gone out. But that proves to me that the board still functions. So that's good news. These cells obviously, you know, they're junk and ancient and they need to leave. Hopefully I'll be cutting back when I'm replacing cells after I get an answer from the chap whose battery it is. Okie dokie. Right, I've got the customer's approval to go ahead and resell the pack. I've got 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not crazy. Used Samsung 35E cells here. We thought we'd just do a low cost option for this pack and see how it goes, because I don't know if this board's going to be okay. I could put brand new cells in it, I'm not sure. He's got quite a few of these batteries apparently, so I think it would be good to just try one first. I can send it back to him, he can try it for a while, see how it works, if it works well, and if so, then, you know, brilliant. We'll a bit of a burr on that one. We'll go ahead and I can resell the rest of the packs with new ones. Now I know, you know, how to open it and how to build it and stuff like that. So, I'll have to copy how these cells were. So 2 pos, 2 neg, 2 pos, 2 neg. To do that, I'm going to be popping them in this ridiculously tight cell holder thing, don't quite fit right. 3, 4. I'll do 2 groups of 4, I think is going to make my life easiest. Oh, the end ones are so unreasonably tight. It's not great. I do have this big squeezy thing, but it doesn't squeeze down enough to go down to 1p. It'll only do sort of 2p of cells, which is kind of annoying. So, oh, I'll tell you what, I could do that, couldn't I? I'll just use some more cells. That's what we'll do. We'll do it all in one go. We'll get rid of that. So we'll have 1 pause, neg, pause, neg. I should have lying around. Look, I've got some very old, very dead cells that I keep around for exactly this purpose. One more. And I'll just use those as sort of blanks to pad out the cell holder. It's always a good idea to keep a couple of spare cells lying around. That's 6. Have I got? Must find some more. There we go. 7, 8. I took these out of that Vax battery I did the other day. There's some Eve cells. There you go. Look, I'll be able to build it much more easily now. This thing's great. You can basically just squeeze all the sides of the pack, and you know if it's tight enough because all the cells won't fall out the bottom. Now there's one here that's got half a mil of wiggle, but they will. Some cells are slightly different sizes. I know they're supposed to be 18650, but some of these funny knockoff cells end up being a different size to a genuine cell. It's a bit weird, but it'll be absolutely fine. These ones are solid, and that's what matters. Yeah, I don't think I can get any more squeeze on them. No, they're squeezed. Oh, there you go, much better. There you go, they're not falling out. Squeezed up as tight as they can go. Right, so to replicate this, join those 2, join those 4, join those 2. Nice, easy, simple. You can use my little handheld spot welder for that. This is meant to be in a case. You can't buy them anymore. I explained it in a different video. It's really handy though. Up to 13. And then for joining some of these, I think I'm just going to use where are they? Some of these lovely things. Because it's nice thick nickel, and where I need the little tabs, it will do the tabs for me, so that should be problem solved there. Lost my scissors. Found my scissors. Let's cut some of these down. There you go. That'll be 1. That'll be 2. And then I'll just need a strip that goes across, and I'll need one of these little guys that goes like that and gives me the tab for that one. Should make life much easier for me using these sort of pre-formed bits of nickel. And this one I'll need 4p, 4 long, go along like that, and chop its little ends. Let's cut down a little bit. Right, so I'm probably much better at doing it long ways, I think, because of the way I hold my welder. One there. Sorry, you're going to get the back of my head in all this. And yes, I've got my hood up like a horrible chav, because you don't need to look at the back of my head. There we go, that's 1. That's 2. like it, did it? Didn't like that at all. I think, I've got sticky uppy bits. It won't like those. Nippers, see if I can get them off. Or tiny hammer. Just very gentle taps to get them down. Doesn't need a lot. Let's cut a new bit for this. Try that again. Weld. Okay. It's a nice solid weld. And I'm going to need a little tab just there. Going across on the diagonal like that. There we go. Lovely. Right, so we'll flip this over. Let's do my tapping first before I... Go. Much better, or just there. Well, I've stripped the old nickel off. There's a little bit of sort of, I don't know, nickel residue, or something I guess you could call it, left behind. Right, and then these ones, we're going to join 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here are our tabs. That's where they're going to be, so I'm just going to replicate this. So neg, neg, pos, pos, neg, neg, pos, pos. Easy peasy. So these 4 are going to get joined together. So I'm cutting a bit of strip that's that long. And then another piece that's also that long. Like that. Chop its little corners off. And we chop its little corners off so that they sit nicely on the positive end of the cell, because the pos and the neg are super close together on 18650 and 21700 cells, and we don't want any shorts or accidents down the line. A couple of seconds saved now in doing that, or used now, will save vast amounts of time in blown battery or unhappy customer because their nickel strip shorted out or something like that. So. Nice. Get rid of that bit from earlier. And these 4 get joined together as well. Just like that. There we go. This thing's getting on a bit. You've got to push in this one way more than this one's still sprung. This one, the spring has died inside it, so It's not quite perfect, but it's fine. Right, and then we just got our 2 little tabs to do, one there, one there. Excuse me. So one of those is going to go like that. So it folds up there. And one of those is going to go like that. So it folds up there. Just like that. Right, pack is built. Wasn't too hard, was it? Or too difficult even. Let's put these back where they live. I say where they live, they're just chucked on the side randomly. These ones are completely dead, and they've been completely dead for a long time. So they live dangerously in the box with the nickel strip. One lives on the floor, apparently. Right, so let's get that out of the way. Yeah, right. What I think I'd like to do is tape all these together and pop a bit of insulation in between the groups here. Should have done that beforehand, would have made life a lot easier, wouldn't it? Here we are. Well, we'll just tape them solid. There's something to be said for fish paper between the groups. I'm sure I'm going to get blasted for. Where's my knife gone? Pointy object. Pointy object. Okay. Right, we've got that. Then we'll want to pop on some fish paper underneath all these. Make sure nothing shorts out. Just cut that into some chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two big ones. One's going to go under there. One's going to go under there. And we'll have 3 little ones. It's going to go under there. One's going to go under there. And that's going to go under there. Lovely, nice and solid. Okay, so now I want to tin this lot with solder. If I could find a bit. Get a new bit off, that'll do. Go. Right, and what I'll do, I will take off one by one all of these and just replicate how it was. Maybe I'll pop it over here. So that's going to go that way round, and then we'll be looking for something underneath here. Hopefully there's a bit of something soldered on somewhere. Oh, this doodad is soldered directly onto the strip there. Okay, let's get all this tape off. Just looks like really old sticky tape that's gone horrible and munky. It does. Let's get that out of there. Are they all loose? They're all loose. Much better. Ugh, sticky. Oh, horrible, gives you, makes your fingers stick together. Is that soldered on, or is that... I'm going to have to get my head in there again. Can't tell if anything's spot welded on or soldered on. Oh, let's just cut it off. That'll answer that. What are you? I think it's spot welded to it. Snazzy. Well, I will not be doing that. I will be soldering it. Tiny hammers in my way now. There you go, that's one. What's going on under here then? Ah, all soldered, they're all spot welded. That's quite cool. So they've actually spot welded the wire to the nickel. Or, I don't know if you could call it brazed, but they've done something like that. No matter. I can simply solder straight to the nickel. Won't do it any harm. Oh, I've dribbled solder everywhere. Like that. Ooh, that's quite hot. Tweezers. Tweezers. Well, I know it's going to be a similar situation there then. Left the heat shrink on, but won't do it any harm. Get that one. Yeah, I don't know if my spot welder will actually spot weld wire straight to nickel. Be an interesting thing to check out, wouldn't it? It's a bit of an accuracy thing as well, though, isn't it? Whether or not I can actually do that. All my tips are typically set at, you know, the distance apart to go across a strip of nickel. I don't know. I'll have to give it a try one day and see. Wouldn't be unpleasant. Think how much soldering I'd save, time-wise. Do 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 do. Right, then we've got one more, if I can reach. Okay, that's that one out of the way. That's that one out of the way. Let's put that one, bit of something in there. That one up on there. Move out the way. something like that, won't it? And then there's just this one left. There we go. Right, do we have a light? It's really hard to know if I'm actually pressing the button underneath here or not. Yeah, there's just sort of no feel to the button at all. Okay, so I don't have a light yet, which is odd because everything is connected. Just check some voltages and make sure I've not done a silly thing and put dead cells in it, but I've checked them all before. Yesterday, they weren't dead. Let's have a look across the pack, shall we? From there to there. 15 volts, yeah, so from there to there we've got 3.9, 3.9, 4, 3.9, well, 3.99, close enough to 4. That's just about perfectly in balance. So why have we got no lights? Does it need to think it's been plugged into a charger to sort of activate the BMS? That's common with e-bike batteries. Let's have a look. Everything's tangled. Everything's everywhere. Why don't I tidy up after myself? Good question, isn't it? One I'm sure we'd all like to know the answer to. Okay, so fully charged 4S. Oh, I've ripped half my nail off. Lovely. Don't need to look at that. Fully charged codes. Calculator. 4.2 times 4, 16.8 volts fully charged is what it should come to. So I set my power supply for 16 point. Well, I can have 16.79 or 16.81. 0.79 it is. Oh, 0.81, who knows. Right, let's give these a little charge and see what happens. So there should be battery plus, and the C pad's not connected to anything. I don't know what the B pad thinks it does, but I'm loath to connect power to that for no reason. Because, as I say, I don't know what it does. And then we've got our A and our minus. Let's go for the minus and that one. That's taking 2 amps. Has that woken it up? It's woken it up. Look, there you go. It thinks it's at 20% capacity. Now, it's not. It might need a full cycle up to full, a drain, and then a charge from 0 for that to actually register something. But I did need waking up, so hopefully. Is that visible? Hopefully it's visible. If not, I tried. So I think we'll give that a go. See how we get on. Don't want to lose that, do I? And yeah, I'll just leave it on charge for a while. I actually don't know if these are the charge ports. That's my other problem. They might not be. I don't know what one is the charge port. I hold that like that. There you go, look. 2 amps. 2 amps is fine to charge. I'll leave it at that. See if it goes past 20%. Lovely, we shall cut back at some point in the future. Okie dokie, I've just popped back in and the power supply's gone off, which hopefully means that this is charged somewhere around the 16.8 volt mark, ish. As if I disconnect and reconnect. Yeah, it doesn't seem interested in giving it any more charge at all. I hope I was charging with the, the charge thing, but it's now gone up to... Please tell me you can see these lights. It's gone up to 60%, which obviously isn't right, but it is what it is. If we check some cell voltages, I would imagine they're probably awful close to balance, but probably not quite balanced because I didn't balance them first because I'm a bad person. We've got 4.175, 4.3, 4.11, 4.132. That one of these is 2i. I'll sort that because I'm going to have to connect it up to the balancing machine and get it all balanced beforehand. This obviously doesn't have very good cell level monitoring, which I'm not surprised about because this circuit board is the size of nothing. I wonder if it's even getting warm. I've got this cool thermal camera now. I say cool, very cheap thermal camera, but it's better than I don't have a thermal camera. Just picking up my hand. What are you picking up? Oh wow, you can see my hand through things. It's kind of cool. Nothing on this board is even really thinking about being warm at all. So I don't think it's got cell level balancing. I don't think they're going to balance themselves. So these cells here are currently overcharged, and it's all going to need balancing with the balancing machine anyway. So what I'll do, yeah, look, we got 60%, that's not right. I will drain this down on my tester at, I don't know, what should it be able to put out? 5 amps? Sure, 5 amps will be fine. Why don't you fit anymore? Should you fit? You look like you should fit, really. But you don't. Are you the wrong way up? Can't be the wrong way up. Oh, you're just stuck in the wrong place on this. Huh. Mmm. Tasty. They'll go in there like... He says. They don't fit. Why don't they fit? Bollocks. Let me guess, the old cells were not 18650 cells. I've had this before. They look similar, but they don't fit. Once again, why don't they fit? Are they longer? Because these ones are touching the spacer there, and they definitely don't fit in there. And these ones, okay, I should take all that out of the way. They're touching that there. They do fit. Look, they're a different size. Why? Why do you look like 18650s but you're not? What's wrong with you? It says 18650 on the bloody thing. I've had this before where they're different sizes. That's so annoying. Okay, I could reduce the size of these spacers here. I suppose that's kind of literally my only option at this point. I can't really reduce the size of these because there are electronics there. But it looks like I'm going to have to make these smaller because they're not the same size at all. So stupid. Hate that. It only comes up to there. I've got them aligned on this side. You can see the difference in size. Ah, bastard. So I can line these up for you. Yeah, look, they're not as tall. They're not as long. It's quite clearly a... Yeah, if I put that on there, look, you've got to turn it at that kind of angle to make them meet up. Nothing is ever simple. Anyway, that's only a fitting thing. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't fit. They shouldn't interfere with these contacts still because they're, you know, round, not square. I'll just have to sort that out as well. Yay for me. What I'll do, I'm going to discharge this, charge it back up, see if then it will actually register that it's got the correct capacity, because it might have just been unhappy with how it was left or whatever. And we'll go from there. And hopefully the next thing you see is I've ground this down, I've made this fit, and I've got a battery pack that will show you 100%, which will be in not today. Okay, I'm just doing some testing here. I wiggled that down a bit. It's not quite filed down enough. They don't sit flush yet. But I've got it on my... I've got this tiny little tester from AliExpress. It's very small, this thing. And I've just got it hooked up to the minus and plus. I don't know if that's the right terminals. But it wouldn't let me draw. I tried to draw 5 amps at first. It wouldn't let me do it. It said no. So, hopefully... it is the right terminals. And I've got it going here. 0.17 amp hour, 0.18 amp hour, 0.3, was that 3 watt hours? I don't know, I'll check. I've set it to stop at 11.6 volts, which is 2.9 volts per cell, because bit voltage sag and stuff. Current is about 1 amp, 16 watts. Yeah, so that's all it would let me do. It wouldn't let me do 2 amps, it kept cutting out. I don't think it was the machine. I don't think it was the machine. I think it's this was saying no, because the voltage would drop to 0 when I did that, and it would cut off the test, and then the voltage would come back. So hopefully I'll leave that for a while. And there we go. And it says resistance is 16 ohms. It could be because I've crocodile clipped onto the bloody thing with these horrible skinny wires, but 1 amp should be fine to run through there. I'll see what happens. There's the in temp and the out temp. I've not actually got the temperature sensor hooked up. But you see if I put my fingers on it there, it's rising up in the top right just there. It should fall when I... now I've let go. Yeah, going back down now. But yeah, very exciting. Ignore that, pretend I didn't do that, you can't see it.